Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with House of the Dragon Season 1. We are on Episode 3, and in the last episode, a few things to remind ourselves of what happened. Lord Corlys was getting quite aggravated because of his place on the council, kind of being undermined by everyone else on the council, and the king not taking things that he says under consideration, almost not taking them all that seriously, and because of that, at the very end of the episode, he ends up teaming up with Daemon. So he is now allied with Daemon, which I don't know what that means going forward. But the fact is that Viserys has now lost out on the best navy in the land. Kinda doesn't ring very well for him, I don't think. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes going forward. We also had the face-off. Daemon had taken over Dragonstone, which was not his to take, but he took it anyway. He also ended up taking one of the dragon eggs, which belonged to his nephew that, you know, ended up dying, which is another sort of just spit in the face. I mean, Daemon is he's insane. Like, the way that he just thinks and goes about things is just very much like he just doesn't give a fuck. It's very funny, to be honest, but you know, they end up going over. You had Otto Hightower obviously went over there initially to try and get, you know, the dragon egg back and everything, and there was this face-off. You know, we had Caraxes come out and shit up the Kingsguard and Hightower, but then in comes Rhaenyra with an amazing entrance on Syrax, and then you had like that kind of face-off between those two, which ended up in Daemon returning the egg. And yeah, I mean, other than that, the big thing at the end, which obviously put Corlys over the edge, was that Viserys announced his marriage is going to be to Alicent and not Corlys's daughter. Which, you see, this is the thing. Like, it's so hard to say that like it would have been just better like for the realm, I think, as a whole, for Viserys to have wed Corlys's daughter. I mean, the age is obviously horrible, you know, but like when you think about it in terms of how it like affects the realm, it's not great. But like, I mean, it just seems like Viserys is turning away every opportunity, like every good deed that he should be doing, kind of thing, for the good of the realm, is kind of being, I don't know, he's taking decisions the wrong way. I don't think he's going down the right path. And I think that's probably got to do with the fact that he is being he's being sort of almost injured by the throne. That the throne is almost like kind of fighting back against him, like you're not sort of fit to sit on the throne, kind of thing. So the throne's like almost, you know, like injuring him for that. And it's like sort of like a metaphorical way. So yeah, other than that, I don't think we need to get into anything else. It's just going to be interesting to see where we go in episode 3 now that Corlys is allied with Daemon, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. So as always, the reaction you know, will be here on YouTube, but if you want to watch my reaction in full, then the offer is down in the description there for you, so you can watch my full-length reaction to this episode and all the other episodes that I react to. There'll also be a link down there for episode 4 as well. If you want to watch that on early access, then that link is down there for you as well. But yeah, nothing else really to talk about, so we are going to get into episode 3 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Let's be the crab feeder again, I'm guessing. Correct, it is.
Valerian is coming for you! No, please! Ah!
Oh. Nasty. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Shit. Now what are you gonna do? Oh, dude. It's like nothing he can do, man. Nothing he can do about this.
Save me!
Oh! Fucking hell! He wanted to be saved. He just got... Holy fucking hell! He just disintegrated! Ah, here we go. They got fucking... Is he got grayscale? Caves and that. Oh shit! Oh! Fucking hell! Dude, it only takes one of them to hit! Jesus!
And you have my nose, don't you?
2 years old.
Oh my...
Our boy has a kingly presence.
Okay, we've gone forward in time here. Aegon.
Remains for
Okay.
Viserys to name him heir to the throne.
I wouldn't be so sure.
He's the king's firstborn son.
I don't know that his grace sees it so clearly.
Then it lies with you to make him see it, Lord Hand.
Valarian forces have suffered heavy attrition, Your Grace. The seeds of dissent are sown amongst the rank and file. Daemon has driven the men hard. They have begun to question his command.
Rhaenyra? Yes, my queen. Your presence is wanted in the outer courtyard. The royal hunt ready to depart.
At the king's command.
Yes, but
Then at once, your grace.
but it needn't be. None of it needs be this way in truth, Rhaenyra.
Friggin' hell, it's just hard work, isn't she?
Should you be travelling in such condition?
The maester said that being out in nature would do me well.
Well, you will be with your own child sooner than later. And make me a proud grandsire. How would you like to participate?
I'm not sure why I must.
Because you are my daughter, and you have duties.
As I am ceaselessly reminded.
I'm sorry?
As I am ceaselessly reminded.
You would need to be reminded if you ever attended to them.
No one's here for me.
Jesus. Just for a hunt. Oh, we've got a load of Lannisters here. It's gonna be interesting to see how they are. Lannisters are always kind of known to just be dickheads, you know. This is insane for a tent. Damn. They don't fuck around.
I fear the gods did not make me for hunting. Might I sit with you, my ladies?
No, of course. Please join us. Larys Strong, the youngest son of our Master of Laws, Lord Lionel.
Why is he sitting there? I want to know. It almost seems like he's just come in here to just eavesdrop and...
Was your own second named heir as grand as this?
Oh, Jesus.
I honestly don't recall.
Here we go. He's got to try his shot here.
Lord Jason Lannister. The finest honeyed wine you'll ever taste. Made in Lannisport, of course.
Of course.
It's fine hunting ground. But the best sport is to be found at Castle Rock, near my home.
Everything's best.
The rock is thrice the height of the High Tower in Old Town. Taller still than the wall in the north. I don't have a dragon pit, of course, but I do have the means and resources to build one.
Why would
This
you need
guy.
a dragon pit?
To house dragons, of course. I'd do anything for my queen.
Thank you for the wine.
What a typical Lannister, eh? What a surprise. Everything he said was compensating, you know? Everything that came from Castle Rock or anything the Lannisters were involved in is clearly better
what I
than
am to
anything
you?
else.
I've been slowly drowning in a lake of parchment flung from every corner of the realm. Marriage proposals all. And I have tried, often, to discuss it with you. But you've refused me at every turn.
That is because I do not wish to get married.
Even I do not exist without tradition and duty, Rhaenyra.
Excuse me, Your Grace.
Jesus.
There's been a sighting of a white hart. The stag is the king of the King's Wood, Your Grace, a regal portent for Prince Aegon's name day.
What happened back then?
My father trying to sell me off to Jason Lannister.
You want me to kill him?
Yes, please.
Many in the realm would gladly trade positions with you, Princess.
Perspective, innit?
Because none of them has ever held my position.
Oh, God. Joffrey's here. In that fucking crossbow. Yeah. He just seems to be, like, overwhelmed, doesn't he? I wonder if that's the same actor or they're actually twins.
I had this forged in the Golden Gallery in honor of Prince Aegon.
It's quite a thing.
I hope it might provide the killing stroke against your white heart. What I offer you, the crown and your daughter, is strength.
Do you think that House Targaryen wants for strength?
Castle Rock is a splendid seat. Rhaenyra may take her place there by my side without shame and feel herself well compensated for her loss in station.
What loss of station?
Many of us had assumed.
Many of us, you say.
Wow.
Have your bannermen questioned my choice of heir?
Of course not, Your Grace.
It is your sworn duty to report rebellion stirring in my kingdom.
Rebellion?
Rebellion?
There has been nothing of the sort, Your Grace.
I did not decide to name Rhaenyra my heir on a whim.
Sit down, you Lannister bastard.
Wine.
There is another choice beyond Casterly Rock. One perhaps you might be more comfortable with, one closer to home. Prince Aegon.
Oh my god. What? What? No. No. Oh my god.
Yes.
That was insane. I mean, I know that Targaryens are like that, but... Jesus. Jesus, Otto.
It would seem to me the best match for Rhaenyra is the son of the sea snake, Sir Lenor. Some years ago, I counseled you to take his sister to wife. My reasoning remains the same.
That's a good option. That would be a good one, but then I doubt that Rhaenyra's still going to go along with it, you know?
His Grace is certain to be worried by your absence.
His Grace can worry himself to death if he so likes.
Wow, don't wish death upon him. God. Oh, horses are getting restless. Stag, maybe? Like, what if they kill the stag? Bring that back, yeah? That'd be insane. I mean, I don't know how they would. The thing was, what, did they say 35 stone? Jesus. Good luck hauling that back. Oh shit, it's a boar! Fucking hell! Jesus Christ! Oh! Whoa, dude. Alright, calm down. Can't tell if they really got lucky with that, because, I mean, God, boars can be dangerous, man.
I named her to protect the realm from Daemon. I named her Heart of Love because I no longer believed. Many in my line have been dragon riders. Very few among us have been dreamers. I saw it in a dream. As vivid as these flames, I saw it. A male babe, born to me, wearing the conqueror's crown. I sought that vision again, night after night. But it never came again. My obsession killed Rhaenyra's mother.
Viserys.
I thought Rhaenyra was the way out of my abyss of grief and regret. And naming her heir would begin to set things right.
Oh, it did.
I never imagined I would remarry. What if I was wrong?
He's so good. Okay, it's not white.
It may not be white, Your Grace. But he's a big lad.
Oh, so they didn't find it then. Yeah, I think there's meaning behind that as well. Like, similar to, like, the throne, I think, you know. It's not really that much of a hunt, is it? If, like, you're tying it down and just...
Yeah!
Everything that you see from Viserys is not a good look, but his heart is in the right place, and that's what almost like the tragedy of his rule is, you know. Oh shit! This is the white. This will be it. This will be the white heart. Oh no! What is? Jesus! It's too majestic. You can't fucking kill that thing. Come on. What does that mean then? That the white heart went to her? She was the one that saw it. Does that mean that she is supposed to be the rightful heir or not? Alright, they brought the ball back. This is what we did, right? just covered in blood, like, yeah, and what? And what?
You mustn't ignore the certain truth that if Rhaenyra were to step over Aegon to ascend the throne, the realm would tear itself apart. He's the firstborn son of the king. To deny that he is heir to the throne is to assail the laws of gods and men. You must guide Viserys towards reason.
I do not think she enjoyed Jason Lannister's company.
I don't think many would.
I do believe that Rhaenyra will marry you, Chris. But she must believe it is her choice to do so.
Yeah.
From Vaemon Velaryon. He's fighting in the Stepstones.
Daemon's got
Then
a
why
dragon.
not send it?
Because it is a war started by two malcontents.
Send it!
I'm happy with decisions I made, but I am forever doomed to anger one person in the pleasing of another.
Then I pose a simpler question.
Yeah.
Is it better for the realm if the crab feeder thrives, or is vanquished?
There you go. Not bad.
Do you not think my decision correct?
It is no consequence to what I think, as I'm often reminded.
Why must every effort on your behalf be resisted, as if to the death?
Because you mean to replace me with Alicent Hightower's son.
But he doesn't. That's the thing.
You have misjudged me, Rhaenyra. It's true that as rulers we must marry for advantage, to forge alliances and bolster our strength. You have always understood this. I myself was promised to your mother when I was
10 and 7 years of age.
I loved her. She made a man of me. I do not seek to replace you, child. I will not live forever. I wish to see you contented, happy even. A family.
I had a family.
What would you have me do?
If it was for advantage, you would have wed Lena Velaryon.
That is true enough.
Oh, man.
As to your match, make it yourself. Search him out. Find one that pleases you, as I did.
He's such a good dude, man, you know.
We have 16, perhaps 18 seaworthy ships. 700 foot, some 60 knights. Our food quickly dwindles, save for what we can fish from the sea. We must press the attack.
That's so
Continue
sick.
sending the dragons.
I love this shot.
Archers hold their high positions, foot soldiers hold the ground. We've strafed them on Dragonback again and again, but they just retreat within the caves. An offering of flesh to bait the crab.
Who?
Dragon returning!
Daemon?
Amen.
Daemon is why we are losing.
He, at least, is fighting this war.
So what then?
Prince Daemon.
Here comes the aid.
Word from His Grace Viserys Targaryen.
He always wanted his brother's attention, right? Oh fuck! Oh shitting hell! Is he accept? I'm guessing he's not accepting it then. He's not legitimately being the bait, is he? He's like he's come without fucking characters. Jesus, this is this is crazy. This is nuts. He does have grayscale. Look at him. He looks fucking nuts. And grayscale makes you go mad, doesn't it? I hope he doesn't die. I don't want him to die. Like, I mean, this is insane. If he's offering his sword, then he doesn't have anything. Like, I don't. What is he thinking, dude? He's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him. Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! How are you gonna survive this? I mean, you have to be the luckiest fucker in the world to avoid every arrow here. Jesus Christ! He's like a one-man army. He's taken out like 15 dudes. Jesus Christ! The gods are on your side, Daemon, because, like, I mean, the... Oh! Oh! Shit! Alright, we need some assistance here. I mean, he did his job and was the bait. Where's the attack now? Ah, here we go. Right! Okay, right, we're on. I mean, they're still all surrounded by... You know, Daemon's still all surrounded. Oh, here we go. Dragon. Here we go. Oh my god. Wait, which one's this? What? Who's this? Was that the kid? How does he have a dragon? He's not Targaryen. Shit. I mean, Daemon did all this, by the way. Like, he made this happen. Go get him. Get him! Get him! Just look at him go! How is he moving like that? He got an arrow, like... He took an arrow to the knee. Holy fuck! He cut him in half. Holy shit, Daemon. Oh my god, that is nuts. Fucking hell, he's capable. Okay, episode 3. Wow. What an ending to that episode. So, well, that war's completely done then. So I think they were, at war for about 3 years? Jesus. That's a long time. Especially, like, in and around sort of just sea. Which I expect is the reason why it was so difficult to navigate that war. Because all the crab feeder and his sort of army and whatnot were just in caves. And I'm guessing they must have had a lot of food stored in there. Because I feel like one way you could have is just done it as in like a battle of attrition and just sort of just waited it out until they starved to death. Though I guess they do have those catapults or whatever, like trebuchets, whatever they were using to take out the ships. But I guess if you're far away enough, you can just stop whatever line of, you know what I mean, wherever they're getting their food from. I don't know. So I'm guessing they just had enough stored to outlast it. But I mean, you can imagine the way that the sort of stepstones is. I mean, that big long shot that we had, which the great shot, by the way, it was class. Just seeing like Corlys and his brother and his son, and like all of that sort of just army just stationed on the rock, and then in the background you're seeing Daemon on Caraxes just lighted up, and while the ships are coming through and they're being pelted up by catapults and stuff, you would think the catapults would have to be outside. So basically just use Caraxes to burn up the catapults, right? And then you don't have to worry about that shit anymore. But clearly the caves were used as hiding, obviously, from Caraxes, otherwise they would have been wiped out immediately. It's like, speaking of dragons, what the fuck? Like, so that was Laenor, right? And he's a Velaryon. So how does he have a dragon then? I always thought it was specifically the Targaryens that were the dragon riders. They were like the dragon lords, right? I mean, even Corlys said that at the end of last episode. That, that like he was talking about how his family, so the Velaryons in some writings and some books, was said to have come before the Targaryens, but it's the Targaryens that have kind of been above us because they have dragons. So how has he gotten? I'm guessing it's it's probably because I'm stupid, because Rhaenys is a Targaryen, right? So obvious. So yeah, okay, yeah. My bad. I'm an idiot. I completely forgot about Rhaenys, because we never saw her this episode. Like, not even at the hunt. So I don't know where she was at this point, but never mind. We got around to it in the end. We got there. So Daemon. Damn, I don't even think he had a word to say in this episode, did he? Because he wasn't. Yeah, we saw. Oh no, we did say. Yeah, he did actually talk, because he was at the beginning as well, wasn't he? Yeah, so he did. Never mind. I mean, that was a great entrance, by the way. So first, like, start of the episode, he comes in through the smoke. It looked absolutely fantastic. Looked great. But the entrance, the fact that like it started off with like one dude who had obviously been caught and was calling his mother a whore and whatnot, and then basically telling the crab feeder, like, you're gonna get fucked up. Like, once they're here, you're gonna get fucked up. Daemon comes riding in, sets fucking a ton of them on fire, makes the island a literal hell. And then where Caraxes literally drops, the guy is like, I'm here, save me. No, he just gets flattened. Oh god. Just what an entrance, man. I love the way Caraxes looks. Because he's got that like sort of like long, like elongated neck, like very serpentine like, but he's got these like on like his back legs, he's almost got these like fins. I just think it looks so like, he almost looks like a plesiosaurus or something, you know? Like a Loch Ness monster kind of deal, you know? Long neck, but he has these sort of like fins. Really interesting, yeah. And then whatever Laenor's dragon had he was kind of like a whitey grey colour, spiky. I would like to see him in more detail and see what's going on there. But Daemon, man, so he comes in at the end, like he just drops in, goes to the table. Here comes the letter from Viserys. He reads it, and for like, I thought like this would be a sort of like a turning point. I didn't think it would go the way that it went, because the thing is with Daemon is that he's just wanted to have that sort of You know, like, he's just kind of wanted his brother's attention, and I thought but the fact that he turned in that way and sort of did it without him, I think says a lot. I'm really impressed by it. Like, the fact that he completely declined the offer, took it upon himself, rode over, and put himself in such harm's way that I don't even know how he came out. I mean, he didn't come out unscathed because he got 2 arrows in him. But, like, compared, I mean, relative to how many arrows were let loose on him, I don't know how the fuck they missed him for that long. Like, he must have, like, the gods on his side, because how he didn't get hit is beyond me. But I mean, he's nuts, and he's got balls of steel. But, like, you know, I thought that once, I mean, you could tell, like, as soon as the sword was taken, like, the look in his eyes, the way it was framed, he was going to attack. And when the arrows were let loose and whatnot, like, there was one thing in particular he did at one point where it was early on, after he took out, like, the initial group of guys that took his sword, that he got behind, like, some sort of, like, wooden debris and whatnot, and where the arrows were being loosed from, that he was able to get. And I thought that maybe he was going to do that all the way up until, like, where the crab feeder was. But he didn't. There's a moment before, like, that bit there, and then the end where he gets hit and he crawls underneath, like, a upturned boat hull or whatever, that he literally just ran the fucking length of it and missed, and every arrow missed. Jesus, it was nuts. But clearly, like, at that point, he just had enough, and I think maybe, like, the letter just sent him over the edge, and that, like, he was just like, I'm gonna do this myself. You know what I mean? I mean, because imagine, right? You've been at war for God knows how many years. I think it was, like, about 3. I think the only thing that they mentioned when in regards to how long it had been between episode 2 and 3 was that Viserys at one point said the last few years, when he was talking to Rhaenyra in the sort of the small council room or whatever, that he said, you know, for the past few years, you know what I mean, you've been sort of angsty and whatnot, and angry in a way. And I'm guessing from that point, that was when she was angry at the fact that, you know, Viserys was marrying Alicent. And it kind of, that, you know, goes along with the idea that, you know, fucking Aegon has now been born and is 2 years of age. If they married and then immediately got to work, you know, then that's obviously it matches up in the time frame. So I'm guessing it was like 3 years that when they start. I guess that there was no initial, like, oh, this is like the start of the war. Like, they could have been warring for 2 years, but I wouldn't see why Corlys would, like, purposefully let this war go off for like a year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how long it takes for them, like, to all get, you know, settled, because obviously Corlys is king of Driftmark and he's the one in control of all these ships. Like, how long does it take to get them all, you know, together and ready for war? I don't know, but like, imagine going for that long at war, Daemon being sort of like the head of it, and then, you know, like 2 to 3 years later, there's sort of like an envoy show up to basically say we're coming to your aid, rather than just doing what you should have done in the first place and gone to war with them. Like, I think that's the thing that just sent Daemon over the edge, and so he just, you know what it is, I'm just going to do it. I mean, that would have been... I mean, imagine Daemon died in that. Viserys, I don't know. He would have took that hard, but yeah. So yeah, insane end of the episode. Insane. But yeah, so back to essentially the very start of the episode. So yeah, we've talked about the whole entrance to the episode and whatnot, but then it goes to essentially the royal hunt thing, right? So they're doing a royal hunt for Aegon's second birthday, or name day, if we're using that, if we're using that term. Interesting little thing here. It seems as though Otto has been under orders from his brother, I'm guessing the whole time. Because, I mean, we knew that Otto was a second-born, and his first, like, the firstborn of the High Towers is obviously his older brother that we saw there. I didn't get his first name. I think they may have said it last episode, but I didn't write it down. But regardless, when they were talking about, you know, who's the heir and whatnot, the older brother talked, like, you know, Otto was like, yeah, it's going to be, you know, Rhaenyra, and that's what it's going to be. And the older brother said, well, it's, you know what I mean, it's going to be up to you, essentially, to change his mind on that, because, you know, we want it to be Aegon. And so I wonder if this has been the case the whole time. Look at this sun. Look at this. The sun hasn't been out all day, by the way. And when I started recording, guess what comes out? The sun. Again. This has been a running thing for, like, ever since I'd been doing reactions. Like, the sun would literally come out every time. You know what I mean? Like, I spend time beforehand setting up, like, you know, my settings and the gain and the light levels and everything so that it's perfect, and then it gets ruined by the sun like all the time, you know. And so I like the you know, the curtains to be open a bit so there's natural light and it's not just my, you know, my lamp lighting me up. But whatever, man. Anyway, regardless, yeah, I wonder if the whole time Otto has been under orders from his brother to go about certain things. I talked about in episode 1, I believe, this sort of partnership that it looks like Otto and the Maester are kind of doing, right? Where, like, they kind of agree on everything and they talk quite a lot, because I found it interesting the fact that the High Towers are actually set up in Old Town, which is where the sort of like the big, like, Maester library and whatnot, and like where the Maesters go to learn and everything, like that's where that is. So I find it interesting that it seems as though they are trying to sort of steer Viserys in a certain way, you know what I mean, for the betterment of the realm and whatnot. And so I wonder if it's been a case where Otto's just been used as a pawn by his brother to get, like, essentially what they want, right? So yeah, and then we got introduced to some Lannisters. Fantastic. And yeah, they didn't let me down, and the fact that, you know, what you would expect of Lannister, yeah, that's pretty much it. So we had Tyland and Jason. So Jason is the primordial dickhead. You know, everything was compensating, wasn't it? Everything was compensating. What did he say? He said, yeah, like the what are they, what's it called? The royal. What's it called? Shit! It was just in my head and I've lost it. The woods that's outside King's Landing, the Kingswood. That's what it's for me. God, he said that the Kingswood's great and everything, but it's not quite the woods near Castle Rock, is it? And then, you know, basically saying, like, oh, it's higher than the tower over in Old Town, and, you know, if it, on a clear day you can see all the way over the Sunset Sea, and, you know what I mean, and it just everything he was saying was like, this is better than anywhere else. Typical fucking Lannister. And I mean, he didn't even. I mean, they barely even exchanged words before he was like, yeah, you know, I could build a dragon pit, you know, I'm gonna have dragons, you know, because you're gonna be my wife, kind of shit. Like, are you, dude, Jesus. Yeah, so he shot his shot and was quickly rejected. Not surprising. And yeah, so it seems as though this was the case because Viserys had been sort of dishing out these marriage proposals for Rhaenyra. I think the thing that he did wrong was he didn't consult Rhaenyra on it beforehand. I don't know whether it was because he he only has so much space in his head, like, at any one time to deal with shit, like, because he's so flooded with shit that he has to do that, like, it's just stressing him out, like, to the point where, like, you know, I feel so sorry for him, man. Like, Viserys, I just feel like he's such a good dude, and, like, he tries to do everything right, you know what I mean? He has a good heart, but he makes bad decisions, you know, and he's just there's like everything he does is never a good look for, you know, for a king, and the decisions he makes are often the wrong ones, and it's just like, I just feel so sorry for him, man, because honestly, like, everything he does, I feel like he does with a good heart, and I just feel so sorry for him, man. I mean, you saw it a hell of a lot in this episode, more so than the last, because I feel like as time progresses, like, the more the kingship just wears down on him, you know what I mean? And in this episode, like, Rhaenyra, she does come across like a spoiled brat. Now, don't get me wrong, like, I get the idea that you, like, you know, in our modern times, looking at it from now, the idea of, like, not being able to choose who you want to marry is like, I mean, what? You know what I mean? That shouldn't be the case. But I mean, as Viserys said in this episode when talking to Rhaenyra, like, you've understood this, like, the duties that you have as part of the, you know, as part of being a part of the royal family, that you have to, with, like, you know, you have to do. You've understood them this whole time, and now it's like, you know, it's like basically at every opportunity she jabs Viserys with something, you know what I mean? And I mean, I just saw it in his face, like, when he said that, like, you know, Daemon has been a thorn in my side. Do you really want to do the same? Like, really? Are you going to be another one that just jab after jab after jab? Like, give him some, like, respite. You know what I mean? Just let him rest for a fucking bit. Like, he just has to put up with all of this shit, and then you've got, you know, his, like, and then his own daughter's just just completely ignoring everything he says, just shuts him down at every opportunity, rejects anything. You know what I mean? And he's just like, oh god, I can't believe he's just so done with it. And nothing was, like, tells that more than that whole section of the episode where he was literally just drinking and drinking. It's just like, oh, fucking hell. Drinking away all of this, like, sorrows and stress. But that was something that, you know, in this episode, I think was, like, the whole point was you need to see everything weighing him down. So, like, there was never a moment of rest for him. Like, every opportunity he was, like, on his own or resting or just, you know, drinking by himself, just trying to keep away from it all. Someone would come along and start talking about politics and all that shit, and he was just like, just give me some fucking time to myself, please. You know what I mean? Like, he even talks about being flooded with parchment and everything. Like, you can't get away from it. And yeah, that would do my head in as well. Like, I mean, how anyone can, with, like, a clear mind, like, deal with all of that shit at once. It's a lot to take, you know what I mean? Like, even watching it, it's like stressing me out, you know? So I thought that was really good. And I mean, Paddy Considine, like, he is so good, man. He is unbelievable. Like, he's the standout, I think. Yeah, he's the standout. I think he's the one that is, like, given the best performance. Because I think he has to go through, like, so many stages, you know what I mean? Like, he has a lot going on, so just seeing everything, like, sort of just almost wither him, and seeing that, like, emotion come out. Like, that scene where he was at the fire and he was talking with Alicent and he was talking about how, you know what I mean, like he was basically telling the truth. And I think it was the moment he was talking about where he wavered, where he's talking to Alicent, and he says, the reason why I did it was so that Daemon didn't have the throne. And I thought that, you know, my dream, the fact that I'm a dreamer and I saw something so clear as day that it was, like, prophetic, and that this is the way that it should be. This is the way that it's going to be. And when he lost Baelon, all of that went out the window, and he thought that by doing the right thing to do would be, you know what I mean, to make Rhaenyra heir. That whole scene, so fantastically acted. I loved it a bit. He's so good. So yeah, interesting episode. It's also like another thing as well, like when you're seeing Viserys like overcome with all of this, you also have the people in the background, like, you know, like Lady Redwine and all of the ladies almost have this, they're not really happy with Viserys's reign, that like you know, they're talking about, no, the crown is at war, you know what I mean? It's just that Viserys is too stupid to even, like, you know, to even think of it like that. So even the ladies like know that, you know, what he's doing is not quite right, and that he's not living up to his role as king. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot that sort of fixated on Viserys this episode. So yeah, I mean, Aegon, he's now considered by a lot of the lords in the land that he's to be the next heir, and I feel like that's the reason why Rhaenyra is so unhappy. Like, she's not happy with the idea of losing her heirship. Is that the correct term? Heirship? I'm not like talking about an actual airship. I'm talking about her as heir. Which is interesting, because if you go back to episode 1, there was a talk that Rhaenyra had with Alicent about, I'd rather not, and I'd rather just, you know, fly around and eat cake and whatnot. Like, she doesn't, like, almost like she didn't want the burden of doing, like, being all that. But I don't know if it's just a case of her, like, growing up and I don't know, like, is she in a rebellious phase? I mean, she's 17 now. But like now, like, once that she got the fact, like, once it was like she's heir, and now it almost feels to her like it's not there. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like she never had a problem with it until she was given it, and now that, like, the idea that it might be taken away is really annoyed her. You know, it is interesting. But then, you know, again, like, like Viserys's talk with her is like, you know, you've misjudged me. Like, I never once said or claimed that Aegon was going to be the next heir. Like, I never said that, you know, that you weren't ever, like, going to be, you know, supplanted. You know, it's true. It's like, this is all a thing that Rhaenyra has in her head, because it's all of the lords talking about it. It's not, you know, it's not something that legitimately came from, you know, Viserys. But I think that comes from the whole thing of, like, they just don't speak, and that's the problem. Like, you know, we've seen before in the show that, like, Viserys is like, you know what I mean, like, she never talks to me, you know. So the problem is with Rhaenyra is that she just keeps kind of out of it, herself to herself, and she just builds up these thoughts in her head and sort of engages them as truth, when in reality, like, you don't know the truth until you actually talk. You know, so you kind of need to go and talk. But yeah, I mean, regardless, she wasn't happy, so she, you know, buggered off into the woods. Kristen Cole followed her, and they had a nice old time in the Kingswood by themselves. Killed themselves a boar, which is quite well done. You know, like, shit like that, I can go bad. Boars are something. You know what I mean? They're not to be played with. So yeah, they did well there. They had their own hunt. I like the sort of the differences between the two things. Like, you know, you had Viserys kill the stag, but it was kind of not really a hunt. It was just tied down, and all you had to do was spear it. Versus, you know, Rhaenyra coming back with the boar that she actually legitimately killed, covered in blood. That was a proper hunt. Even though they didn't go out hunting for the boar came to them. You can still call it, we successfully killed it, as a sort of a battle. Whereas Viserys, it was just a stag that was tied down, and all he had to do was you know, prod it with a spear. So yeah. There was an interesting moment as well with we got Lord Strong's son, the one who is like disabled. He comes up to the table as well, where all the ladies are sitting, and he says that, like, I'm not blessed, you know, to be able to do the hunt. Mind if I sit here? And he never actually like participated in the talk at all with them. He never like said anything. It was like almost like he was eavesdropping. And it kind of gives me like Master of Whisper vibes, you know, like possibly from like Lord Strong, like, you know, kind of make himself useful, and you take in what all of the ladies are saying so that you get like an idea. Maybe it's just a thing of like he relays it to his father, Lord Strong, and then Lord Strong can, you know, tell Viserys exactly what's going on, like what the people think and stuff. It could be that either way, but I just thought it was interesting that he literally just. He came across, he said, "Can I sit down?" They said yes, and he never said anything else, but there was a few camera shots on him. So I feel like he's kind of just taking stuff in so that he can relate to his father. Or to someone else, who knows? I don't know. He might be sort of like a double agent kind of thing, I don't know. There was some mad offerings as well, like Otto offering Aegon as a solution to like the fucking hell. I mean, listen, that's what Targaryens are like. They're incestual. But God, he's 2 years old. You know, like that's madness. But I just find it funny, like, you know, Otto is just trying to come up with anything. You know what I mean? Anything to steer where he's meant to be steering. And then Lord Strong actually offered a great idea, which was Leonor, so the guy obviously that was on the dragon later on in the episode. I just find like it's such a good sort of alternative to what happened before. Like Viserys being offered Lena. The fact that didn't go through, and now you have an opportunity where Rhaenyra can marry Leonor, means that, you know, that connection can come back and they can be allies again. Whether that happens or not, I'm not sure, because I mean Viserys has obviously said one of your choosing. Will she choose? I don't know, because I don't know if they know each other. I don't know if they have, you know, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it would be a great way to just get them like connected again, you know, back on good terms. And what else? Yeah, the White Stag, obviously, or the White Hart, I should say. Very, very beautiful creature that was initially meant to be hunted, but didn't, and ended up immediately after the hunt of the normal stag, the White Hart come to just rest its eyes upon Rhaenyra. And while Kristen Cole did unsheathe his sword, she said, "No, don't kill it." I wouldn't, like, see, that's the thing with like little symbolism. What does it all mean? Does it mean that the fact that the White Hart sought out Rhaenyra, does that mean that she really is the right decision to be heir? I would probably say that, yeah, it probably is. Which means that, you know, if Viserys sticks to his word and is like, you know, you're not going to be supplanted, that it might be a case that Viserys has made the right call, the right decision. Now, I think he made the right decision with sending aid as well to his brother and Lord Corlys. So I think there could be a bit of a change. We might see him in the next episode become more healthy. You know, because maybe the throne isn't fucking him over so much. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I did like, you know, the talk of perspective as well with Rhaenyra and Kristen talking about, you know, like Kristen was like, you know, there would be people that would die to be in your position, and she was like, yeah, well, you know, like I would die to be in theirs. You know what I mean? Like the pressures that are put under her are different from, you know, the common folk. So, you know, there's perspective. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can't see the other perspective because you haven't lived through it. So, you know, I did like that sort of that little conversation there that they had. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I've got. Great episode. And yeah, I can't wait to watch the next one. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you do want to get access to episode 4 my reaction episode 4 right now, you can do with the link down in the description below. And there's also obviously the link to the full length, like I talked about before, down there. So if you want to watch my reaction in full, then that is there for you. Of course, all of those things are on my Patreon. So yeah, you can go over there if you wish. But that is all I've got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.